Every 2 seconds, someone somewhere needs blood. Truth is, blood cannot be manufactured. It can only be gotten from people who give it voluntarily. Millions of people need blood transfusions each year. Some may need blood during surgery. Others depend on it after an accident, or because they have a disease that requires blood components. Blood donation makes all of this possible. Did you know that adults have about 10 pints of blood in their body, and 1 pint is given during donation? Did you know that 3 teaspoons of blood can save a baby's life, and 1 pint can save up to 3 persons? On this episode of Wellbeing, we're joined by Angela Ochu, a solicitor, talk show host and producer, voiceover artist, wife, mother, blood donation advocate. She talks about her passion project, Jealous Development Initiative, and the goal to raise blood donors across the Federal Republic of Nigeria so that J-Blood Match can function adequately in each state and can help match donors to recipients during emergencies.
Hello and welcome. You're watching AD4 TV Radio. I am Adirayo Senami. The 14th of June annually is celebrated as World Blood Donors Day. It focuses on thanking individuals who save lives through their blood donations and strongly advocates for people to donate blood voluntarily. I'm joined on this episode by a woman who recognizes the struggle to provide safe blood in Nigeria. Angela Ochu, you're welcome to Wellbeing. It's a delight to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to meet you, and I'm so excited to be a part of the show.
Okay, Angela, I'll start with this. My goal is to increase the blood donor pool in Nigeria by advocating on all media platforms to get citizens registered on an AI solution which will help connect blood donors to donees at the point of need. Your words, almost a year ago. Tell me about it.
Wow, thank you very much. Well, basically, it all started when I made that statement. It had to do with the time we launched what I call J-Blood Match. It's an artificial intelligence that connects blood donors to people who need blood using their blood type and their location.
Yeah.
And all of this started from because I have a backstory of almost losing my life when I did not have anyone to come and donate blood to me. I was diagnosed with an ectopic pregnancy and I had to go through an emergency surgery. And interestingly, there was no one available to donate blood to me. So, but I realized that in Nigeria, our blood donor pool is extremely low. We don't have people wanting to donate blood, but we have a lot of people taken from that pool. And so when you go to places like the National Blood Transfusion Service, you would see that oftentimes they do not have enough blood when people come in there to request for it.
Yes.
And so I started with the whole blood drives. I started to have blood drives while I was on radio. I would advocate for it during my shows then, and I would try to get people to understand the importance of donating blood. And so from then it moved on to me also thinking, how can I get more people in the blood donor pool? And so we created J-Blood Match, which is an initiative from my NGO, Jealous Development Initiatives. Yeah. And what it does is that we try to encourage people in the whole of Nigeria, because it is live in the 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We're trying to encourage more people to register as blood donors there, so that when there are certain requests that are made by other people who need blood in an emergency and in the hospital, the AI sends them a message and tells them straight up that, you know, there's this person that needs blood in this place. Are you willing to go ahead to donate blood? Because studies have shown, or I did a bit of research and I found out that people in Nigeria are willing to donate blood to others when they know the real cause of their situation. It's easier for someone to say, I'm going to donate blood to this person because I see that the person is suffering from anemia, than you telling them to just go to a blood bank and just donate. People are asking, where is my blood going to? Who is it going to?
All right. So that journey, it's been what, 7 months now?
Well, we launched that on the 21st of November 2019. But before then, we had been doing over 18 months of test runs, because we had to test it to make sure that it was functioning, to make sure that when people request for blood, we're not, sending rough messages or messages that were not, ideal. So we tested that for about 18 months. And when we thought, okay, it was good enough to go, then we launched it on the 21st of November.
All right. So for a solution provider, that means technology plays a key role in what you're doing. Because when you say test run, what comes to mind is, are you receiving blood from different people? I need to understand, do you have like a blood bank? Or could you enlighten us?
J Blood Match is not a blood bank. It's an AI. But here's how it works. I was thinking of how can I create a system that would mimic the exact situation of what happens in an emergency in Nigeria. So what happens normally is, if you are in a hospital and the doctor says, wow, we need to transfuse you with blood. The first thing that they do is they tell maybe the family member of that person to go and get blood from, let's say, the NBTS. So you could go to the NBTS and let's say NBTS doesn't have blood available. The next thing you're doing is calling family members. Oh, please, my daughter is who's the right match to come in. If there's no family member to come in, you're most likely going to go on social media and you're going to start requesting, oh, please, we're looking for blood and everything. So I wanted to mimic that situation. And I thought to myself that a lot of people are on social media nowadays. We are always on our smartphone.
It's the fourth industrial revolution.
Exactly. So how can the smartphone play a crucial role in making this connection? And so what I did was in creating the direction was I sat down with the MBTS. Actually, I had several meetings with them before, and I said, what actually happens when people request for blood? What do they ask for? What's the procedure? So I tried to create that in form of technology, using the artificial intelligence, which piggybanks on Facebook and on Telegram, because we have a lot of people on Facebook and also on Telegram, people having to chat. So what happens is that if you now go on that system and you search for J Blood Match, you can now register as a blood donor, which is on one hand, because the registration is trying to get as many people in that pool.
So it's data collection.
First of all, right? Then the second part is when it actually does happen, where someone needs blood. I didn't want a situation like what happened to my husband, where he called my father. My father was my blood match, but he was not there. My mother wasn't my blood match, but she was there. My siblings who were my blood match were not around. And so I always say that your true blood sister is actually the person that has the same blood type as you are. So I felt like if my husband had J Blood Match then, all he had to do was to pick up his phone, and because he was registered on J Blood Match, he would request for another blood donor around that area, and the person would just come straight to donate blood to me. And so I started to think about ways to make it more practicable. And that was how, we came up with J Blood Match.
Oh, that was quite, what's that word now? A life-changing experience, I can say.
Yes, it was. Because for me, I was very fortunate that I didn't die during that process. But when I came out, I felt like there were several other women who were equally dying.
Not so lucky.
Not too lucky. And I thought, and what would be the reason? It's not because there's a problem with the hospital, but there's just no blood available to them.
You will rightly judge that data collection is on one hand, people who need blood, what situations they need the blood for. It's not all the time it's for childbearing. So for some people, it could be an accident. And so in the 7 months that J Blood Match has been in operation, have you had success stories? Has there been instances where it was just right there for someone to use?
Yes, so we have made, J Blood Match has made connections. However, the connections we've made so far has been mainly in the Federal Capital Territory.
How do you hope to scale it up to other parts of the country?
So it's been a major struggle trying to get as many people registered on the platform. We've been using social media a lot and advocating for it. Every opportunity that we have to talk about J Blood Match, just like this as well, we get to talk about it. So people know that it is available. And now we have more people registering in Abuja. And so because we have more people registered in Abuja, the AI is able to make the connections. So far, I really don't want to give the figures because we were hoping that when we're exactly 1 year, we can now say that,
this is how far
the number of donors that we have.
Yeah.
But we've been able to make connections, and people have gone to hospitals to donate blood. They've given feedback, and it's just been a wonderful thing. And it is a free service because people think it's a free service.
Oh my goodness. So how do you, but it's a business also.
No, it's not.
Oh, this is your voluntary service to humanity.
Exactly. Yes, it is a free service. Once you've got your smartphone, so I say to myself that I do not want to make money off people's blood. No. And so,
but I'll come to that in a bit. We have to take this quick break. You're watching AD4 TV Radio. You can follow the conversation on all our social media platforms at AD4 TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And the program you're watching is Wellbeing. I'm joined by Angela Ochu, who has been such a delightful guest. We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Chioma Amete, and I've been a blood donor for over 6 years now. I donate blood on occasions, and I want to urge you today to join me and be a blood donor. I donate blood for a number of reasons. Chief among them is that I believe that as a blood donor, you're literally giving life to someone out there.
It's not true that once you donate blood, you're going to faint, or that you have to be fat or things like that.
Welcome back. You're watching AD4 TV Radio, and I've been chatting with Angela Ochu on Wellbeing. Angela, I caught you right off when you were about to, you were just explaining to me how this is a passion that you have, and you're not monetizing it. But there's a big problem in Nigeria. If donating blood is free, why do we pay such huge sums of money for it?
Well, I think it's also a misunderstanding to some extent. Okay. Now, according to WHO, WHO encourages voluntary donation.
Yes.
But people need to understand that when you donate blood freely, access to screened blood is not free because there's a cost implication attached to it.
Yes.
Now, when you could donate blood to me, but it doesn't come to me directly.
True.
It needs to be screened for HIV-1, HIV-2, syphilis, hepatitis B, hepatitis C. Then they also confirm the blood type because you don't want to transfuse someone wrongly.
Yeah.
So all of these tests, if you were to go to the regular hospital to do a regular test of HIV, syphilis, and all of that, it's going to cost you money.
Okay.
So that blood that has been voluntarily donated has to be screened, and it's not placed in a cup. It's placed in a bag that is going to be put in. It's going to be frozen, not frozen, that's the wrong word.
Refrigerated?
It's going to be refrigerated or at least stored properly. There's a cost to all of these things.
Yes.
So Claire, and this is why I've always partnered with the NBTS, because for a unit of blood with the NBTS, it's about 5,000 naira.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that is very, very affordable. Because in the international market, if you were to get a unit of blood, it's probably over $500 US dollars. But they don't feel that impact because of the insurances that they have. So if 5,000 naira is being requested from MBTS for a unit of blood, it is definitely something that no one should complain about, because if you were to treat all of these diseases that I mentioned, it would cost you more. So access to screened blood cannot be free. There's a cost implication attached to it. However, people now say that why is it that you go to certain private hospitals and a unit of blood is 40,000 naira, 30,000 naira, a lot more. Well, I can't talk about that because it's a hospital and it's a private hospital. But if you go to general public hospitals, it's not as expensive as you would find in private.
All right, we're wrapping up now, but I want to quickly, I want to ask you two things. You mentioned COVID-19 while we're speaking now, and I think COVID-19 has changed the world as we know it. Has it in any way affected your plans, for this year?
Yes, it has, because we had several blood drives lined up with other organizations, but they equally canceled out because of the lockdown, because of, even some of them were not going back again to work, with the social distancing and everything. So instead, what we decided to do was to see how we could raise more blood donors registered on J Blood Match nationally, still campaigning that we want to get at least 5 people registered every day in each state. So we started to get people to adopt states, that, okay, I'm going to adopt Kaduna State, and I'll get at least 5 people every day registered on J Blood Match, so that the AI can function in those states. And we're hoping that on World Blood Donor Day 14th, will be able to deliver at least 1,080 registered donors nationwide. And let's see how that goes. But definitely the conversation on blood donation needs to keep going on. And I think when the media takes it up seriously, people tend to see whatever the media takes up, everyone takes it seriously. So if the media takes blood donation conversation seriously,
it's a welcome development.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Angela.
Thank you.
I think that's it. We're going to wrap up now. But I would like to ask if there's one message you want to pass across for this year's World Blood Donation Day. Is there something you want people to, take home?
So the theme for this year is safe blood saves life. And I would always say this, that the safest unit of blood is the one that is actually in the blood bank. Because it's the safest, because it's been tested, everything has been done. You just literally go there and pick it up and everything. But our blood banks are really, really struggling. And I would just still encourage as many people as possible to go towards the National Blood Transfusion Service and be regular donors. Of course, the other side I would encourage people to do would be to register as well on J Blood Match. And it's very easy. You can literally go on Facebook and search for J Blood Match. And it would, the AI would literally tell you what to do, tell you how to register, and you just make the registration on Facebook and also on Telegram, whichever one you prefer. And if you or any family member of yours ever need blood, you can just request for another donor, and hopefully one will come by to donate to your cause. So that's basically my message, that go out there, donate blood, knowing fully well that somehow, one person that has needed blood throughout the course of your life. And people die on a regular basis. So if you can just become a hero this year, and just go out to NBTS and donate blood, that would be an amazing thing to do. So that'll be my message.
It's a perfect place to wrap up, Angela. You have taken on a humongous task, but it's not impossible.
It's not
so
impossible.
I wish you all the best in all your endeavor.
Thank you.
And so it's a wrap on this episode of Wellbeing. Thank you for watching. I am Adirayo Senami.